My vengeance ends now.
So I beat God of War 3 in both normal and Titan difficulties and got the Platinum Trophy. So it's for sure time to review it. I'm not going to go over the story since that information is available plenty of other places, and I don't want to spoil it for any God of War fanatics that for some reason haven't got around to playing the game yet, but I will say that God of War 3 picks up where God of War 2 ends. So while I suggest that you play the other games first, I think newcomers to the series should be fine since the writers did a great job of including backstory where needed. Overall, I thought the story was excellent and it kept me interested. The cutscenes were entertaining and were placed into the game very well. The transition between gameplay and cutscenes was next seamless. No loading or forced game saving, just flat out, non-stop action. Of course, the graphics were flat out amazing. Excellent level and character design, lots of blood and guts and other things that are just visually stunning. And boobs! Lots of boobs! PS3 boobs are amazing. On the PS2, boobs still jiggled around like jello on a plate that's in the backseat of a car going down a very bumpy road. But I think they have finally mastered boob physics on the PS3. Anytime there was boobs on the screen, my focus went way up. The sound was also flat out amazing. The music fit the game perfectly, and the voice acting is excellent. It was highly apparent to me that the voice actors really got into their roles, and none of it sounded forced or read. I really liked that Kratos' voice was mostly localized to the center channel in my surround sound system, and it seemed like he was right in front of me. If you played the previous God of War games, then you should be very familiar with the controls. I like how they gradually introduced new elements of control as the game progressed. Pulling off awesome combos with little effort was there and is just more than flat out button mashing. The finishing moves were easy to pull off on the small enemies as well as the bosses. My favorite part of the game was the boss battles. Going up against larger than life enemies was just fantastic, and I thoroughly enjoy kicking the crap out of the various gods. When I first went up against Hades, I didn't think I was ever gonna win. But in retrospect, Hades was nothing compared to Zeus. Zeus would just barely beat me, and I have to admit that I yelled at the screen a lot because it was pissing me off that I was dying so much. But when I finally beat him, it was super rewarding. While God of War 3 is one of the best games I've ever played, I still had some complaints. I was major let down to find out that there's no chapter select. Sometimes I like to go back and play my favorite parts of games that I beat. I don't really want to keep ass loads of saves on my hard drive just so I can go back and play certain parts. It would have been nice if the autosave just automatically made separate save points. The next thing that annoyed me was how long it takes Kratos to open the chest with the power-ups and orbs. Maybe instead of using one hand like a badass, he should have used two hands so he could have opened them faster. I know he uses two hands on the bigger ones, but I still think it should have been an overall faster process, since sometimes I really needed more health and it took forever to get them open, and it was especially annoying when enemies were attacking me from behind. Also, I thought it was lame how you had to be on the exact right spot to press R1 to make Kratos do various things like open chests or pick things up. And I also had some problems getting on ladders every now and then. I would go up to them and press up, but no go. I had better luck just jumping into them and going from there. I also didn't care for the fact that you couldn't skip the cutscenes even after beating the game, which made getting the trophy for beating the game in Titan mode take that much longer. Some parts of the game took some figuring out, and so I died a lot, which caused the game to ask me if I wanted to play an easy instead, which I thought was really annoying. If I wanted to play an easy, then I would have just chose easy. I like that they give you the option, but I also think that they should have just put the option in the pause menu instead of bugging you about it every like 5 deaths or so. But really, those are just nitpicks compared to how awesome the game is. The trophies were a lot of fun to get, not too hard and not too easy, and I really liked how I didn't have to play the game in the hardest mode to get them all. When you beat the game, you'll unlock several videos about the making of the game as well as a challenge mode. The challenges were easy for the most part. 2 of them for sure provided me with a challenge though. And from there you have like this like arena kind of challenge mode thing, and it was kind of pointless in my opinion. Overall, I have to say that this is for sure an amazing game. I love the blood, gore, and boobs. The puzzles are fun, the story is great, and the boss battles are phenomenal. This is a must-buy game. It shows what the PS3 is capable of and sets a new standard not only for the God of War games, but for all games. For sure, a game that everyone needs to experience.